Hey campers, George here, back in the man cave. And while we were at the gun show, I picked up this guy. See it? You can see it says Sears Craftsman on it. Very cool. See it there? All the blades and tools look in good shape. It's just really rusty. And I think this will clean up really nice. So I broke some rules and went to the boss and said, I don't want to dice this. Let's just do it. And she gave me the nod. Let's check it out. So like I showed you, this is the guy we're doing. I'll give you a little bit closer look here. You can see just how rusty this guy is and beat up. Well, I shouldn't say beat up, but just really dirty, a lot of rust. But I think it'll clean up really. I just got a feeling about this one. And one of the reasons is the handle. You see how it's kind of faded a little bit? And I think, that's just aging. And of course, it's got the very cool badges. And the great thing is, I think everything will clean up, including the blue. So if we do that right, we might just be able to do it. We'll see. It's got, you hear that? It's not smooth. It's actually got little lines on it. And that might be a problem, but maybe we can get it to shine. So that's what we're going to do. The first thing I've got to do, obviously, it's really rusty. I'm not taking this guy apart. I'm just going to dip it and I'm going to let it sit for a while. Give it a brush every hour or so to get rid of the rough stuff so it can really get down in there. Hopefully there's not too much pitting and we'll have a nice clean start to it. And then, of course, the cleanup. Oh, I forgot I was working on this. Spoiler coming up hopefully soon. It's been days. There's a lot of pocket lint and whatever in here, so I just want to get that out quickly. Stainless steel brush. Keith gave me like 5 of them. So here you can see it's, take the price tag off. Paid way too much for it, but you know what? What do you do? Evaporist. I am going to have to take a run to Harbor Freight soon. Because I've recycled this a couple of times and it's getting a little weak. So it's time for an update. Uh-oh. Safety managers here checking on me. I got gloves. See, I put gloves on. You happy? We're going to let this soak for a while. I think the boss wants something to drink though. Oh, yeah. Well, she's making sure she has stuff to drink. No. You can't drink that. Thank you. Yeah, I got to keep an eye on her. When I leave stuff like this out, I have to cover it because she will test it to see if it's safe. It's been about an hour. Just going to give it a quick rub. See that white stuff? Huh. Yeah, this is going to be pitted. Let it sit a little bit longer, and then we'll go wash it off and start cleaning it up. I took it out upstairs, washed it off, used some very light dishwasher, rubbed it a little bit. I got to tell you, these blades with all that rust, are in pretty good condition. Look at this. They cleaned up quickly. All the rust is gone. Huh. See there? Maybe some pitting underneath there, but so now we're off to the races with sandpaper. We'll start with, I think, 500 to 600. Then we'll go to 1,000, maybe 2,000, 10,000, and a polish, and then we sharpen. So here we go. We'll start with this guy and see if we can get rid of that. Always support your blade. 500 to 600. And we're just gonna start cleaning up around the bolster and then the main blade. And you can see the so here we are at 500 to 600. There is pitting on this blade, but it's not deep at all. You can barely feel it now. So now 1,000 to 1,500. Let's go to 2,000, try that. It's getting better. $10,000 it is. So here we are at 10,000. So now I'm just going to go through and do all the metal and clean the well. Same process, just repeat everything I just did on all these. Yeah, it's kind of a lot of work. Once we're done there, then we can go to polish. I've got to get that well cleaned though. So I'm going to do that now. And these blades, although are not sharp, they do have an edge, so tape them up. So now we're going to clean the well. I'm basically going to do the same thing using the foam. This well's pretty wide, and if I double over like that, get it in there, I can do both sides at once, and the bottom if I can get it all the way down. I'm just going to use my favorite little tool here, my ice pick. Get it in there. Get it started and then just get it all the way down. And then you start. And there you can see. And we'll work the bolsters, the springs, you know, and then we'll do the blades, the rest of them, and hopefully it'll look all nice and shiny, and we can sharpen it. At 10,000. And hopefully we can get it even better than this with some mothers. So there you are. Mothers, smooths it out nicely. Very nice. Just cleaned up. Very nice. Considering the rust on it, I didn't think it would, but it did. Nice and shiny. All we need to do now is make that sharp. I like this. And of course, it's a Craftsman from Sears. Here's the problem. See that? So one of the problems with an old knife that has been well used, in fact, it was out there doing what it was made to do. This is the main blade. It's going to be used more than any other tool. And if you watch, see that movement? Let me hold the handle still there. See that? And if you look at the spring here, there's a gap. Let me see if I can focus it and hold it there. See that? Look at that. What's happened is either the tang or the spring is worn. You have to take it apart, and if it's the spring, you could flip it around if you wanted to. Then the other tool gets a little loose, but it's not used as much. Or you can fill that spring in. If it's the tang, where the tang is worn, you would have to move the center point of the hole that the pin goes through on the blade. Now I've seen it done. Southern Knife Hobbyist did it. I'd love to be able to do that, but I don't think I have the stuff here to do it. He basically fills the old hole, remeasures and moves the center of the hole. In this case, it's too low, so you'd drop the center of the hole, which lifts the blade up and will hold it solid. So you basically re-hole the tang. No, I'm not going to do that. I do not want to take this apart. It's a beautiful old knife. It's used, it's worn. What do you do? It's going into my collection because I don't have many. Sears, Craftsman. And you know what? It's shiny. And it's sharp. And that's all I want. So you can see here it shined up nicely. Really like this knife. Interesting, if you look at the previous picture, I'll put it up here. It looked blue, right? Really light blue. Well, that is just oxidation of the handle over time. Basically, we just took that oxidation off, and here we are. Very cool knife. I love this knife. Good find on a hunt with Keith. So there you are, campers. Another restore. I like this knife. And, I don't see many of these around. The Craftsman. And to have a nice little badge on it. Very nice. Obviously old. A little beat up because of that wobble on the blade. It seems, you know, I tapped everything. They were wobbling sideways as well, a lot, both these. So I just tapped on the pins to get a little tighter. Now here's something interesting. It looks pretty solid in there right now, but as soon as I drop the other side, the tension's gone. And what's happening is when I do that, it's putting more tension onto the spring, and you don't get as much of a wobble as you did before. You know, it's one of those things that happen when you have, I have it halfway now, a lot of tension on that spring. You can see it's lifted right out there. Look how tight it is, doesn't even move. Drop it, the tension's gone, move is back. Like I said, I don't really want to take this apart. A couple of reasons. Look at how well they're pinned. They're rounded pins. And I need to get myself a peening tool that can do that. And I saw a video that showed you how to do it. So I might just do that and we'll give it a try and see if it works. But in the meantime, you deal with this and you learn to pin better. But it really turned out nicely. It cleaned up. It was rusty. And dipping it made a huge difference. Got rid of a lot of the rust just dipping it and brushing it with a stainless steel brush. And it got a lot of that off. Obviously, you're going to have pitting. No real way to get away from that. Once a knife rusts like that, the rust is actually eating in. It's oxidizing the steel, and it's going to eat away at it. So it was a well-used knife. Somebody liked this knife and used it, and I can see why. Anywho, appreciate you watching. You be safe out there, especially with these things. You know, you're out there. I was just thinking the other day, with Keith on a knife hunt. You know, you go to a show, an antique store, and you ask to see a knife, and 9 out of 10 people, or 99% of them will say, sure, just open the box and, you know, take it out. Well, be careful. Other knives in there, you don't know what's in the box. When you take it out, the way you handle it, giving it back. So I thought, spoiler, I'd do one for the members on how I go about on a knife hunt with Keith and what I take with me most times when I remember. So there you go. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. I will be back. You saw I'm working on a project. It's taking me a little bit longer. Started off as I was going to do as simple as possible, and it got out of hand again. I just can't learn to stop, especially when I'm whittling. I'm not thinking, and I whittle. Before I know, I go, ooh, spent way too much time on this. But what do? I got a walking stick coming up, and that should be done soon. So, spoiler alert, watch out for that one. If you'd like to support the channel, join membership below. Just click the join button. It's not an automatic thing. It'll tell you about it. So you can look at that and decide if that's what you'd like to do. If not, we're still good. You're still going to see videos. That's for sure. Those guys just to get to see a couple of other things more. Thanks for watching. Always, always appreciate it. You guys this month boosted my numbers. Many thanks. And it's always appreciated. We'll see you again soon.